Hi guys, so it's been a very long time since I've put anything on this channel, and this is something completely different. I did debate putting makeup on before this video. I decided against it. Possibly not the best idea I've ever had, sorry. This is actually a really difficult subject matter, and it's quite personal, and it's something that I feel needs to be discussed. And if you have read the title, which you probably have, you'll know what it's going to be about. And it's about mental health, which still is something that does not get talked about enough. It is much less of a sort of taboo subject now than it used to be, but it's still not talked about enough. So, for those who don't know, I'm changing jobs at the moment. And today was my last day at my current job, so I come into work, ready to do my day, called into the office. I work in sales at the moment, so it's, you get a sales meeting every morning, this is your target, so you hit it, and the door gets closed. The door doesn't normally close, but okay, fine. And the manager sits us down, me and the other salesperson, and says, I don't know how to say this, but one of our other sales execs committed suicide last night. Now, the person in question wasn't he was 19, technically an adult, but he was a kid. He was 19. I know a lot of you probably remember when you were 19, and I'm only a couple of years older than that currently, but everything seems so much harder. I know that he just gone on, his girlfriend just moved away for university, I think it was university, but he seemed like the happiest person, and I'm normally pretty good at judging people when they're hiding things. There was no signs. I was talking to him literally yesterday about holiday days at work and how I can finish work as quickly as I can, where can I take my holiday days to kind of get out of it, and he was telling about these job offers that he had, because a lot of us are moving on currently. The other sales exec was speaking to him last night about 6 o'clock. This person, his parents, his dad rang up and she said, can I speak to somebody? It's important. Yeah. Very, very calmly explained the situation. We found the car abandoned, and then we found a body. That's all I know. Obviously we're not going to probe people's parents and ask them for details. That's all we know. But you wouldn't have guessed it. Now, people deal with these things in very different ways, and that's okay. I was initially obviously very upset, and then I was angry. I was so angry with him for making his parents go through that. His parents, they've outlived their child. They have to bury their child, and he chose to end his life as a 19-year-old with so much ahead of him. He was so clever and so nice and so personable and friendly, and he has so much going for him, and there was obviously so much behind the scenes that we just didn't know about. And I'd only been there a few months. I wasn't even that close with him. I spoke to him, we had a good old laugh, we joked about things, we occasionally went out together for drives, because we went out together to go for lunch or something like that, just to go to the shop and back. We never spoke really that much, and that almost makes it worse for me. It doesn't make it worse, because there can be nothing worse than losing someone close to you, and I appreciate that. But there'll always be that what if I spoke to him more? What if we'd interacted? What if I could do something? His parents are probably thinking, why didn't we see the signs? His girlfriend, who's just moved, has probably thought, why didn't I? Maybe it was my fault. There are all these questions, and there are no answers to them. We're never going to get answers to these questions. Now, this for me is the first time I've experienced somebody that I know ending their own life. And it's hard. And I know this sounds very insensitive, but all I could think of was, well, you know, it's not hard for him anymore, is it? And like I say, this sounds very insensitive, and I'm very sorry if this upsets anybody, but he, as far as we know, he doesn't have to deal with it now. It's the people that are left behind that have to deal with it. He knew so many people. He was part of one of the local sports teams. They've cancelled their match tomorrow. They had a very big, important game tomorrow. They've cancelled that, you know, to sort things out. He'd had a number of job offers, so it wasn't, we don't think about work. You know, it came out of nowhere. I know that these things often do, and that's kind of my reason for making this video. Mental health is so delicate. You know, you've probably spoken to somebody who's had some form of depression or something like that. Maybe they don't even know it. But this was so out of nowhere, so out of the blue, and it affected so many people. You know, our entire branch where I work today was just shocked. So shocked. Sorry. I'm not good at dealing with, well, anything. I cry at kids' films. And this has been, for me, a very, very hard day. I spent the whole day on and off crying and trying to think of something else to take my mind off it. And like I say, I didn't even know him that well. You know, one of the other people in our branch came and said, "Oh, were you close to him?" Because I'm bawling my eyes out. I said, "No, I wasn't." He seemed nice enough. He always kept me at arm's length. I just thought that's how things were. And none of us knew. And there's this sort of social stigma that, especially if you're a male, you can't be weak, you can't cry, you can't admit it. And I don't know if that had anything to do with him, if he thought that was anything to do with it. I don't know. We don't know. We won't know. You know, all we know is that he, last night at some point, abandoned his car and ended his life. They didn't find out, I don't think, until this morning. And we're also wrapped up in our own world, in our own problems. I'm being totally honest. I woke up this morning and thought, how can I get out of work early today? It's my last day. Pretty tired. I fell asleep on the sofa. I'm very tired. I didn't even shower. I've showered now. Thinking, oh, you know, if all goes, I even said I left the house to my other half, you know, but I'll hope to be home in a couple of hours. We're also wrapped up in our own world and our own problems that sometimes we forget to look around us and talk to people and have meaningful conversations with people. I went into one of our supermarkets today after work, like this. So I haven't looked in the mirror recently. Okay, you can see that I've been crying. I had the biggest bitch expression ever on, and this lady just made conversation with me about cake. Nothing important at all. But she looked at me. She knew that I looked the way I did. Like, not necessarily, oh, I looked horrendous, but you know, she could tell. I think she could tell that I was really not having a good day, and she went out of her way to talk to me. And that's what we need more of. We need things to be easier. Because if it gets to the point that I'm at now, there is nothing worse than asking yourself, what if I'd have done more, what if I've spoken to them, what if I could have helped in some way? You know, somebody's died, somebody's lost their life. Somebody very young, someone with a lot going for them. And we'll never know any more details than that. And he didn't seem down at all, so it's such a difficult situation. You know, if you or somebody you know or anybody thinks they might have a problem or knows they have a mental health issue or something like that, you're not weak. You're strong. You're strong for continuing to go on. You're fighting it, and you should be proud of that. And there's no shame and no weakness in having to talk to somebody and opening up to somebody. I've only had very little experience, very little, with anything on the mental health spectrum, in that maybe a year ago, maybe I had depression, but nothing major. On the flip side of that, don't belittle yourself. I told myself, nothing major, it's fine. I was lucky. I had a network of people to support me. Some people aren't that lucky. Some people don't have people they feel like they can talk to. You know, you can be surrounded by people and feel so alone. And I think that that's probably how this person that we lost felt. I realised it's just been kind of a ramble video. I needed to get it out, you know. I've been trying to think all day. This person's got social media, they've got Facebook, and I've been trying to think all day, you know, do I post something, not necessarily on this person's wall, but do I post something? Do I try and reach out and message somebody to say I'm sorry for your loss? And I couldn't bring myself to do it because I didn't know him that well. And it seemed almost disrespectful. But people care about you. They do. No matter how much you think people won't miss me, people don't care, no one would notice, they will. And they do. I mean, I'm no psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever the word is. I'm not qualified. I just lost somebody today, or yesterday, and it hit me. I wish there was something I could have done to stop it, but there wasn't. There isn't. I'm sorry. It's probably my cue to stop recording this video. Please, if you or someone you know is going through an issue, find somebody to talk to. There are helplines out there. There are people and companies you can call, you can email, you can, even if you don't want to talk to a company, if you want to just speak to somebody, just please speak to somebody. It doesn't even have to be anyone you know that well. You know, you might have some friend that you know online that you don't really speak to that much. Just tell somebody, because somebody cares about you. Somebody cares. And like I said before, it's the people that you leave behind that end up in pain and having to pick up the pieces and questioning whether they could have helped you. And that's not something you want to put somebody through. And you're denying yourself a future. And you might think, you know, you're not going anywhere, you've got nothing, etc., etc., but you have, and you are, and you will, and you can. You just need to be strong. And I realise that's easier said than done. And I've realised I'm talking to you from a webcam on a computer screen. But please, reach out. Don't let things get the better of you. thank you for watching. I hope you're all doing well. I've got nothing else. Goodbye.